be great.
Yeah.
What is up, team? Welcome back. Welcome to the Huddle, your weekly playbook helping you gain forward progress in your career. Simply put, we're here to help you guys win. What's up, fellas? Do you hear me okay?
Yeah,
We can
dude.
hear you.
We can
Very
hear you.
good.
I don't know if it's okay though. I mean,
You know what? It's pretty good, bro. I grew up in a household where people spoke broken English, so like I can hear you clear as day.
And I'm old. I grew up with
Okay.
AM radio, so it sounds perfect.
Well, all right. So I am going to try this. I am on location on a project in Springfield, Missouri, so I'm not in studio. I'm going to do my best. If I break up too much, I'm going to jump off, but I want to thank Shag Tools for sponsoring today's episode, and thank my co-hosts for always being here. Daniel and Jose Gonzalez with us today as a special guest is the lead man over at the NASCT, Scott. Scott, welcome to the Huddle today, sir.
Good to be on. We're live from
Happy to have you.
Columbus, Ohio at America's Floor Source.
So Daniel and Scott are America's Floor Source, as he said, in Columbus, Ohio, doing a sheet model training, resilient goods, flash coat heat welding. I'll let them speak a little bit more about it. But again, another quick shout out to our sponsor, Shag Tools today. Go check them out at shagtools.com. If you have any flooring needs from adhesives, tools, all this kind of stuff that we use on a daily basis, go check out shagtools.com. Show them some love. Tell them you love the Huddle. They'll be
yeah.
happy to hear from you guys. So today's episode, the topic is estimating, essentially, with caveat of winning bids without losing money. Before I possibly jump off here, because my sound probably sucks at a Starbucks and all
It's
that.
not the worst I've ever heard, but I mean it could be better, but we could still hear you fine.
Okay, good. Well, I wanted to make sure to bring up the number one way to not lose money on when you're bidding work is to estimate it properly. But second to that is setting yourself apart from your competition. Uh, a lot of times we get work all the time and are not low. Um, it's the basis of having a really good company, really good installers, being able to prove that and show your customer that you're a better option even at a higher price. That's a great way to win work and not lose money. Now, you don't always get to do that. As my buddies are on here every week, we bid just like they do every single week. We bid work that we don't win, but we bid a lot of work that we do win. Uh, and I would say the number one thing for us that I really focus on is giving um, the better experience to the customer, really focused on high quality installation because that's what they remember. And that's what their customer, if you work for a general contractor or something, that's what they remember. Um, if you work for residential and you're working with homeowners, they also, even if it's a little, you know, difficult of a job in some manner, at the end of the day, the quality of your work is what they see every day, and they remember that. So I would just put your quality and your ability to win work at higher margins as one of the soft tactical things outside of just the obvious. I mean, don't miss stuff. You know, don't miss entire walls of wall tile or entire ORs of sheet vinyl. That's really detrimental to winning the job. And we can go into some of the tactical things that we do in estimating the actual process of estimating. I know Daniel does a lot, and I do a lot, and I think Jose does a ton. But take it from there, guys. What's some of the tactical stuff you do to ensure that you're estimating you're still going to you know, win win a project but still make money.
I'll let Daniel go because I know that he said he may have to jump off at some point. So
Yeah, I mean, well, it's just double checking everything, right? And I know that we've talked, we keep on talking about AI, and it's utilizing that in order to make sure that you're not missing anything too. And does it work sometimes? Yeah, it's awesome. Does it work other times? Not the greatest, right? It's all in how you're training it. So I do use AI quite a bit when I'm in there. I'm, throwing prints in there compared to what I had, and it has came back with, I think that you missed this room that's supposed to get this on this floor, and it will give you a link, and then it kind of highlights that, right? And it's like, you know what? I did miss that, and other times it's like, hey, what did I miss, or what could I, you know, just help me out here. And sometimes it's like, I think that you missed this over here, and it's like that material is not even on any of these documents, so it's kind of a hit or miss type thing. But not only that, it's, I don't know, getting with your reps, and anytime they come over to our shop, right, or our office, and they're like, just let me know what I can do for you. They really mean it, because I'll get a hold of a rep. I was talking to one earlier, and I'm like, look, I'm trying to get your stuff into this project. And she's like, I'm sorry, I didn't call you back last week. I'm going to personally drop it off to the architect tomorrow for the submittal, and I'm going to talk to her about it, so that way we can get the ball rolling, right? And it's talking to your reps like that in order to not only make sure that they're working for you, but they're giving you the price that you need in order to, um I don't want to say like have a leg up on the product, because you want everyone to be fair with everything, but especially if you're, and we're talking installation, right? And I'm more on the estimating side of it, right? But still, when you're talking material, you should be having someone in, talking to them and making sure, okay, I am pushing your product instead of this one as an alternate. I should be getting better pricing because I'm the one that's trying to put it on there. You shouldn't just be giving me any price.
Yeah, so yeah, specifying materials, that's a great point, is a wonderful way to get more aggressive pricing on your materials. And I mean, it makes logical sense. This isn't about being fair. It's fair, but it's fair if all you do is call somebody and get a price on what's specified. It's not meant to be fair if you go and do all the legwork to find a similar product with the
boom.
same specs and at a cheaper price than what they can get that for, and you're bringing value to the table, and you're doing the rep's job. So it it means they should give you a better price. So specifying materials and making sure you have great relationships with your vendors is another awesome way of doing those projects, particularly on your negotiated work. Where someone calls you and says, "Hey, I need some help on a job. I'm redoing my church, and I'd love for you to be the company that does it, or I got to get three numbers." But you know, you getting in there and specifying what's going to be in there, you're selling. You're effectively acting as the salesperson for that manufacturer in that scenario. So they should give you a better price. That's a great tip there too. You mentioned
Uh,
AI. I just go ahead.
Kevin said he's always ready to help out.
Dude, he is too. He is too.
Kevin rocks. Kevin rocks. I got I've been our team's been dealing with Kevin to get his rating, and he's going to be up there. He might be on the new rating system. It actually goes over five, but it's not 0 to 5. It goes beginner, intermediate, experienced, proficient, expert, master, artisan, elite artisan. So Kevin
Ooh.
might be an elite artisan in the rating on carpet. So
Oh
Anybody
no.
more
It's gonna do
deserving, I don't
nothing for
know.
Kevin's ego.
And I mean,
I'm trying to make his head twice as big.
He's
that's
trying to
not
get.
But
possible anyways.
Hey,
But
that's that relationship thing that you were just talking about, Daniel. He's working on a relationship right now to get some favorable pricing.
well, I mean,
yeah,
when you're talking about, on the install side, I think one of the biggest things, and I mean, the shirt says it right here, right? No train, no gain. We're here. We have 14,
16.
16 guys out there right now,
that's awesome.
and they're out there, they're working, and it's a matter of I was talking to one of the salespeople earlier too, and I was like, "So how's it going and stuff like that?" And I said, "Oh, so you're just one of those people that everyone is like, you go and bid something, and then you go to the installers, and they're like, oh, I'm not gonna work for that." And she laughed. She was like, "Yeah, sometimes." And I said, "And that's what's important to go through, see what goes into this stuff. So it's." Not only getting installers and salespeople out here, but getting them talking so they know, hey, as an installer, get out there and if you're not selling your own jobs, it's getting with the people that you are working for and like, let me sit down with you so I can go over the process and why it costs X amount instead of what you've been at, right? And just that communication aspect. And that's what we always talk about is communication. And you just have to be open with them and say, hey, the reason why this is going to cost X amount of dollars more is because it's going to take me X amount of time more because it's just that much involved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
letting your customer, like educating your customer on that stuff is a big part.
So,
Yeah. I mean,
oh, go ahead, Deep.
I was gonna say I was looking at a grocery store the other day, right? And we go in there and he's like, give me a price to just redo this area that's an insurance claim and then a price for everything else. And then I'm looking and there's some tile busted up already. And he's like, do we got to get that tested for asbestos? And I'm looking at it and I was like, that looks like fiberglass under there. And I go and like pick at it and yeah, it's Versa Shield, right? So I'm like, I mean, no, we don't have to get it tested, but now I know at
But you
some
might want
point
to
there
test
was a
moisture.
moisture issue, right? So
Yeah.
now it's a different approach.
Side note, I think we bid on that job a very, very long time ago.
Yeah. So educating your customer is like another really good way. But I also will tell you this: we have some particular manufacturers that I know I get a better price from because they don't have claims from us. So I'm not
Yes.
going to mention, I can't, uh, but we don't have claims. We don't have installation failures. Um, and not to say, knock on some wood because I don't want any, but the truth is we install correctly. We go about it at what I consider the right way, and we're always looking for a better way. If you're a flooring installer, you can set yourself apart by your quality, by being able to prove that you are certified or you've been highly trained by these guys. On flash coat heat weld, when the manufacturer knows you know what you're doing, um, they want you to get the job too, even if they won't say that. The fact is, they want you to get the job too because they know that there's going to be less headaches, less problems, more opportunities because their product looks good when you're done with it.
And we
Right.
get referrals from reps like that as well, right? Like we'll get a referral, even if it's through another flooring contractor. Hey, call Jose, call Daniel. They're really good at this, and that's a compliment. And we're not perfect by any means, but to get a referral from a sales rep who is looking at the history of the product and the issues and the lack of issues through some other companies, because I know we're not the only ones that get referrals. That says a lot about what you put in as an installer as far as the effort on learning and trying to stand behind your work, because you're right, they want to sell more. And if they're selling a product and have subpar installations and continued failures, their product looks bad at the end of the day, especially when you're looking at large scale projects like hospitals, schools, corporate
Any
offices that
of
are
them,
coming
dude.
out.
I,
Yeah,
I I know a client that was like, "Hey, I don't want XYZ carpet because it's had multiple times I've had uh, failures on previous projects." I'm like, "Man, we install a ton of that product. I don't know why you know what I mean? Like it
yep,
it does reflect poorly on the manufacturer's product, and so the manufacturer will hook you up too. So those are like soft skills of getting work. Double down on your labor. If you're a flooring company, if you're a flooring retailer, double down. Sell yourself based on the quality of your labor. Make sure your labor is highly trained. Your flooring partners, your partners in installation, and your subcontractors that they're highly trained and that you make sure that they have those opportunities. And just like American Floor Source is doing down there, do those kinds of things. Get involved in getting your subs opportunities to be trained. If you have in-house guys, make sure they're damn trained, and set yourself apart that way. Negotiating the product on jobs, like Daniel talked about earlier, is a great way. And then I wanted to touch on the AI thing. I'm not sure what you're using to do it, but there's multiple different AI products out there, as well as just you can train a chatbot on ChatGPT to do some of this. But we use a product called Jengai, and Jengai will go through and identify all the stuff through AI on your finished schedule, your finished plans, find every reference to any of your keywords anywhere on the drawings, specifications, everything, and then kind of start to build out your file to send into what we use for actual estimating is measure square. And so that goes in there and it already fills out all the product information. I don't have to type that in or select it. It found it on the drawing and put it in for us. And then now all we got to do is go draw and drop product in, and it highlights the rooms that get the product. So that's an AI tool or software that we utilize. But you can also train a chatbot. I think Daniel was kind of alluding to that, to where,
Yeah.
hey, check out this set of drawings, tell me whatever. We talk about AI here a lot because we are actively researching and using and trying to find ways for it to improve our business. Um, Daniel and Jose do it. I know other flooring companies are doing it. If you're not engaged in that, you really need to be. There's a lot of low hanging fruit for you to get better. Um, then tactically, we have a estimator checklist that our estimators go through. Um, some of the stuff that ways you lose money is just simple things like not figuring epoxy grout in the bathrooms and figuring regular grout. That right there costs you a couple dollars a square foot right out of the gate. $2-3 a square foot, 10,000 square foot. How's that feel? So you we make sure that the estimator is actually thinking about this thing, and having AI assist with that has been a real big help. So
Right. And before we get too deep into this, I do want to bring up, something that's been going on, and I want to try and get more people to do this is, supporting Denise because of, with Dan's passing, and I know a lot of people that listen knew Dan, so we just want to make sure that let me put this on the side so it's not just blocking us.
is this live now?
Yes.
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 Okay.
So,
All right. Yeah, it was. I believe last week I had been told that uh, it had something wrong with it,
yep.
but this
And
should be
now,
good, guys.
yep. They got everything taken care of legally, so everything is all good. We just want to make sure that, it is a really big prize. I mean, Scott and Sonny put it together, so Beaumont Flooring Appreciate you guys
Thank you.
100%.
Thank you guys very much for that.
And you
Yeah,
and you
The
know
least we can do.
Amen.
Sonny's also got the shirts for D&D going out, and we're just very uncertain on the cost that Denise is going to have to bear for everything. He was in the hospital for a while, and we just want to make sure that going forward things are fine, because Dan was one of those people that would do anything for you if you asked him to. So that's all we're asking
Sometimes
for
even
him.
if you didn't.
Yeah. So it was
If
CFI
you know
convention.
Dan,
CFI convention 2 years ago, I think, maybe three. Um, there was, some tools being discontinued, and he knew
oh
about them,
yeah,
so he went and he was like, "Hey guys, come here, I got some stuff for you." And he did. He got us some, butane heat welders and some groovers that were being discontinued. Like, he's got one right there. I got one over here, and I bring this to the trainings with me to show the guys. And it's just things like that. He was very thoughtful, so we just want to make sure that we're paying it forward to him, and when he can't be here anymore. So
And I feel like we're
yeah.
all very fortunate that a lot of us got to see him a month ago at the
Oh man.
convention.
Yeah, I agree. I was talking on the last show that I just seen him when I saw me walking down the street and was like, "Where you going?" So I'm walking to my hotel. Jump in. He's just that guy that's always looking out for folks, and he's an awesome guy. Um, Also, didn't have to, beat around the bush with him. It was just who he
yeah.
was. So I gotta echo that seeing him at convention was a nice a nice thing for me, and I'm sure everybody, like you said. So please, guys, scan the QR code, get out, go do some good for some other people in the flooring industry. I've witnessed it multiple times. We help each other out. We're the largest tiny organization I've ever met in like my life. Like, uh, you know, the value of the flooring, the labor value of flooring installed annually is at $29 billion. The material sales are around 25 to 26 billion dollars. As a whole, that's well in excess of $50 billion industry, and we are still very tight knit group of people. So it gives us all an opportunity to really get to know one another and help each other out. So yeah, please scan the QR code, help Denise. Um, God knows she needs it at this time in her life. With Dan's passing, the more we can as an industry help her and take that burden of the money off as best as we can. I think that's goes a long way. So
Sure does.
please do that. We'll leave that up for the rest of the show, guys. So
yeah,
if you get on here, just hook it up and go buy some raffles and let's support that.
yeah. Getting back into the subject, right? I don't even know what the question was when I started, to be honest with you, but I'm just gonna jump on in. And I know earlier we were talking about educating the customer, and sometimes, when you're talking about the customer, it's not just a homeowner, even though a lot of people that do watch do residential, but it's commercially, um, educating them too, and that's to the point of, some of the contractors that we work with will contact us, and they're like, "Hey, we're going through our standards manual, and we're looking for pictures of things that are done correctly." And I think we've been in theirs for the past like three or four revisions, right? And they keep on contacting us, and that's nice, because that people are looking at your quality, and sometimes that quality just gets you more work, and you just have to keep up on doing that, and making sure that when you say that, like, our tagline is setting the standard, right? And when I'm talking to the guys or when we're on a project, that's really what we're trying to do. We're trying to go in somewhere and yes, we could install it to the industry standards, right? But then sometimes and when I was with first started getting with NAFCT and then throughout the first few years, right? I even got a hold of, or some manufacturers got a hold of me and they're like, we want to be involved because, it's just a few videos that we went and released on YouTube and they're like, you guys do things like how we would teach, but you guys surpass that, right? You're more in depth than what we even require. And that's why our tagline is, setting the standard one installation at a time, because it's not just going out there and just throwing it in. It's going out there and this customer deserves the best installation regardless of the price that they paid, right? If I'm out there estimating and I mess something up and that's my fault, that's still something that has to be done. So that's one thing. I mean, if they're making changes, definitely get that change order, right? But when you're out there installing, it's your name on the line. Make sure that you're doing the best that you can, so that way you get that residual work so that way when you are estimating it's not that huge of a deal like if you do miss something, because when you have those relationships, it's like, hey guys, I miss this epoxy grout. Will you be able to help me out on this one?
Yeah, that's a good point. Relationships are key. We talk about them every single week, but I want to point out something else you said, Daniel, there that is you know really important. Is you you said that you guys kind of go above and beyond the standards a lot of times. To know that, to do that, you have to know what the standards are, right? You gotta have a baseline of something, and so that you guys, I know we sound like broken records about training, but you just have to. And with the verified trade index, that accreditation is going to change the way this thing works, and you will be judged on your ability to prove that you're a quality installer, and where you line on that metric. I think it's important that you use your skill as a sales point. So am I frozen? Because I'm
No,
frozen
No,
on one of my screens, not on another. So I know.
no, you're
Uh,
good.
um, but anyway, knowing the standard is kind of you got to have that first step. So I wanted to point that out. Um,
So I want to add to
Go
what you
ahead.
just said right there, Paul. Is you said use that, right? Like use your ability. So before we got into the sales portion, all we had was our skill set, was our installation skills. That's all we had. And people used to come or say, "Oh, you're such a good salesman. You're such a good salesman," to me all the time. I never sold anything. That's the whole thing. Is before we even sold our first project, we never sold anything. The only thing that we did collectively was hold each other accountable for what we knew and especially what we didn't know. Right? That's what we did. And that's what helped build up that foundation of knowledge that we started gathering and obtaining and locking into memory and practicing. And it wasn't easy. I'm going to be honest. It wasn't easy. We didn't get along a lot of the times, but once we started practicing it, started doing it every day, it became normal every day. And you get faster at it and you get better at it, and then not only that is now you can explain a lot of the process not only to the sales staff that you're working with or working for out of flooring contractors, but now to your clients as well. And what it does is when you share education, it does raise the bar across all aspects. So now the salesperson is a little bit more knowledgeable. The client's a little bit more knowledgeable, and you're gaining more knowledge, right? And then you all start sharing information. Next thing you know, you guys are all on the same playing field. Um, the salesperson understands that they might not have had the right installers on some of the projects that went bad, and now they know why. And that's what added the value, and that's what helped us from the labor aspect, from the installer perspective, as far as the estimating and bidding, because now we partnered up with people and we tried to help everyone succeed.
We've
Yeah,
all been in
the
the same boat too, I think, whether on a site visit or a measure where like you bring up something like to the customer about moisture testing or something like that. And it's like, well, so and so was over here last week and they
They
didn't
didn't
say
tell me.
anything about that. Or floor leveling, there's carpet down now and they want to go with a vinyl plank or something like that. And it's, well, they told me I wouldn't need to do any prep. It's like, well, until you rip up this carpet, we may need to add a line item for that. And it's little things that will set you apart.
And when we first got in here, this is only Tuesday, so yesterday, in my introduction to the class, right? One of the questions is, who knows what ASTM is, right? This is a resilient class,
That's that
and if
thing you
you
get the
don't know
money out of.
what ASTM F710 is, and I don't try and dog on anyone, it's just I don't even know what you said because I'm talking. So I, s- I said, I'm not trying to dog on anyone. It's just if you don't know what this is something that you should write down because it's something that everyone should know because this is basically, I said, this is the guidebook on resilient, guys. Like this is what your foundation is based on, and this is how you have to approach it.
And we,
yeah,
most of them didn't, never heard of the ASTM.
Yeah, there was three people that raised their hand. This guy, and then the two people that were in here from AFS.
yeah, yeah.
Probably Jeremy, but I don't know.
Hopefully.
The thing that is that's always like just what Scott was talking about, and it leads right into that is trust. When you go to your customer and you say, "Hey, looks like you may need some floor leveling," or "Hey, we're gonna have to do some moisture testing," and or you find out that it's got to be mitigated. One of the things I found in
We know,
I'm so
Kevin.
sorry. I'm so sorry, Kevin. I warned. I'm like mobile location.
He's on
Sorry,
Starbucks
brother.
Wi-Fi or something.
I am. Uh, I'm gonna finish my deal, and I'm gonna mute myself and let you guys finish this up, but because I don't want to make the audience suffer through.
We can make
But
we can make this episode short and sweet, right? Because we got guys out here still, and then we got a
yeah,
certain guy
so
that's going to be here in not too much
By
longer. So
by a bearded man.
we're
So
gonna have
let's
Divergent
start
here.
closing it up right. We'll start closing it off right now. Thank you for everybody for joining us. But I'm going to say that the when people trust you, they don't have to second guess. They know you have their best interest at heart, and the more that comes out, the more they want to work with you. They want you to do their jobs. I mean, we just if you're a good flooring installer, you know what I'm talking about. And I just desire everybody to embrace that, like the amount of money, but also satisfaction that comes with doing a good job, and the client being truly happy dealing with you. I've had people say, "Man, this is a horrible scenario, but there's nobody else I'd rather go through it with." You know, like those are compliments that pay the bills. So that's all I got. I want to thank everybody, and I'll let you guys close it out. But I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Sorry about the sound. Thank you, Kevin. I know, buddy. I apologize. We were trying to make some things work, and I try not to miss, even if I have to jump off of a normal day and hit a Starbucks. So, thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Special thank you to Shag Tools, and please remember to scan the QR code and support Denise in this time. That's all I got, and I'm gonna mute myself, and one of you guys can close this out.
All right, thanks, Paul. I think I when what he was just talking about kind of put me into that spot, where they're like, this sucks what we're going through, right? But I'm so glad that we have you guys here, right? Because the knowledge thing, and it's actually one of your projects is what I'm thinking about when it was at the hospital, and then we ripped everything up, and then you find moisture issues, right? And it is one of those hard things where you're talking to them and they're like, well, what if we just don't do it? And then, I mean, you can talk about it, but you were basically just like, well, if you don't want us to do this, we're not the right people for the job.
Yeah, and so I know which one you're talking about. What hospital we won't say, but you're right that it was the beginning of a very trustworthy relationship, is what it was. Sometimes delivering the message or the news that you don't want to deliver is the best way to create a good relationship. And yeah, I guess that's the one way to win it too. Is it's like, if you don't want to do this the right way, then we're not the people for you. And to start off the episode, he said, "What are some good ways to not lose money on a bid or an estimate?" Well, the best way is just to not do it.
Mhm.
That's one way not to lose money. But the other way is to find a way to create that open dialogue of trust and communication. And sometimes biting the bullet, not your tongue, biting the bullet is one way to do it, to show them that you're serious about their investment. Sometimes sharing the information you don't want to share is the way to do it. Sometimes just saying, I don't have an answer for you, but I'll get back to you with one, or find someone who can give you all the right information. There's no way that's foolproof. And, like, I'm just going to go. I had a phone conversation today, a follow up on a bid that we just turned in that was a pretty hot item, and said, hey, what's going on? Haven't heard anything. Where did it land? He called me. I was like, I'm so sorry. Like, I put your bid in front of him this many times, but this person was 30% lower than you. I was like, man, like, what dollar amount? And he said, he gave me a dollar amount, and I was like, dude, I'm going to be honest. Like, I'm looking at my cost, and that's $10,000 more than my cost for the materials. That means that they're doing all of that install and prep for $10,000. And it was it was a 10,000 square foot facility. Demo VCT, grind, prep, install LVT. And I just said, man, we're not doing line items, right? He said, no, unfortunately, the owner's going by overall amount. And this is where I said, look, I know that we haven't done a project together yet, and I know that you're going to invite us again. But can we do each other a favor? Because I want to learn just as much as you want us to do a project for you. Can we talk after the project's been started or complete, so that way I can see where I went wrong? Because it might be me, right? I know it's not me, but I'm just saying that. It might be me. But I want to learn so I can be better for you, so you're not turning in an estimate or a bid that is so far beyond everyone else's, because I don't want to do that to you, and I don't want to do that to us. And
But
it
that's
turned
going to
into an
get
hour
changed over to
conversation.
death.
So I just said, I don't want any names of any companies or anything like that. But I said, this is my cost for this product. This is my cost for this. I can remove the floor protection, but then you're responsible for it. And he was like, no, I can't. My hands are tied. But I did provide him with a very long list of potential issues if they decide to go over it versus remove it, and if they don't remove the VCT where the new coolers are going to be installed. There's a lot of variables that I included and information I included in that. Hopefully it turns into a good relationship, but who knows? Maybe it's going to take a couple years like some of our really good ones have.
Well, like Scott was saying earlier too, right? And there's kind of been a theme over here is you've never lost a dime on a job you didn't take, right? So, I mean, sometimes these projects, that it doesn't matter how bad you want them. The best thing that could happen is you don't get them.
Yeah. You start lowering your price to try to get jobs, and you'll end up in trouble.
Or you start, like we said, you start going and it's like, okay, well, maybe I will cut this corner or I'll cut that
Oh
corner. And that's
man.
just not something that we're, that we do.
Yeah.
I know it's not something that you do either.
Nope.
We talked about that earlier. It's like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then you
So
just
we
walk
don't
away.
try not to cut corners, but you try to find alternate solutions, and that's really all you can do. Don't.
And sometimes magically your phone rings 3 months later when a job's already started, and they tell you that they made a mistake, and they may need you to come and assist. Oh, we have a special guest walking up behind us, so
Santa Claus sighting. Which way I got to go?
I'll go this way.
All right, Mr. Stewart. Ah, look at that guy.
What's
All right.
going on?
We got the divergent.
Dude, is that what you're going to be for Halloween? That would be great if you did, bro. That would be fantastic.
I've tried, but I can't walk into flippers. That's the problem.
That's because you're supposed to use the Heelys. You're supposed to make Heelys out of them.
Oh, hey, that's a good idea.
Oh, Paul just jumped off, guys. He said
Yeah.
that his connection was too bad, but Kevin, I love the persistence on just trying to get under this guy's skin with whatever his fantasy football team is doing. I don't personally do fantasy football, but my wife does, and she is like on her phone constantly just checking stats and like, oh, my receiver is on the injured list and my other one has a bye. What am I gonna do?
I barely beat Paul this week, so I can't say anything.
Whatever, you
Right.
beat, at least you beat him, right?
Yep.
So as soon as he leaves, everyone just talk crap about Paul.
Look, I thought I was going to be on the podcast alone today, you guys. I already had everything like written out, introductions,
And look at
Oh,
now you
and-
got all of us.
and the doors are fixed, Bubba.
Nice. He says that Tanya should help Paul. I'll let her know. But yeah,
All he had to do is ask Chad. Chad would punch out some information for him.
not gonna lie, that's what Tanya does, and it still does not help her. But I mean, yeah. Any questions you got, guys? Just let us know. That's what we're here for. We want to make sure that everyone is profitable, and you know that when you run into a question, that the network is here to help you out. If we don't have the answers, we know someone that does, and it doesn't matter. You know, if it's about estimating, adhesives, training, carpet. Let's make sure that everyone it stays profitable, and that's what kind of the ending to this episode is, right? That's what, all we need to do, man. There's plenty of ways, and just never feel like you can't reach out to someone because someone has already been through what you're going through, and you know that's why our relationship with Paul, I reach out to him when I have a question. He reaches out to me when he has a question about something specialty. I've called Sonny a few times, just hey, what's going on with this adhesive, or I know this is your adhesive. Why don't we have this system?
I got it.
Oh, dude.
Ask and you shall receive.
So, I mean, if you don't reach out, no one knows, right?
That's right. Well,
Yep.
I started the day today in Dalton, Georgia at the IICRC.
I seen pictures.
So presenting to a bunch of inspectors, and what Daniel just said is one of the things that I harped on. It's okay to not know the answer, and it's okay
Yeah.
to say, I don't know. I had someone ask me an adhesive related question I didn't know the answer to. You know, those inspectors are tricky. I said, I don't know, but I'll find out and get back to you. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, and we got Kevin says good luck with the training and thanks for everything that we doing for the industry. And I just have to, just say that right back to him. Thanks for everything
Oh,
that
yeah.
you do, man.
Kevin, you're great.
Like I don't,
Sir.
if you're not super involved, like a majority of us are that keep on speaking on the podcast, but Kevin's been on a few times, but he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes with his company, and we
And on his
definitely
own.
appreciate the things that you do.
That's right. He does it to benefit the industry, not for the accolades. That's what I like about
Yeah.
him.
Yeah.
He's so low key about everything he does. We appreciate you, man. We really do. I got to play golf with him at FCICA, so I got to know him a little bit better. And
Just
he
said
told-
Kevin was low key.
Yeah, he
Well,
told
when it
he
comes
told
to
the,
He's low key. Doesn't mean that he's not loud.
no, he's
he told
loud.
the story about the first time me and him met was we ended up on the same team for a scramble, and he said I'm taking it serious, and this guy shows up, goes in a couple holes, and he pulls out, driving righty, and then comes up to the tee again and swings lefty. He's like, what are you doing? It's like, oh, my shoulder hurts, so I'm just gonna try to drive the ball lefty.
Yeah.
He had Andy McWilliams and Kevin as his other two, him and Dwayne, and him and Dwayne were playing good, and the other two are just playing. I'll put it that way. Andy's
We
good,
used
I
one of
should
my
say.
balls. That's it.
But all right, guys, we're gonna wrap it up from here. I'm gonna make sure that everyone is good out here. We got some material
I got
to unload
conferences.
that Sonny brought. Um, thanks for
Closing?
joining.
Can I give a thanks real quick?
Yeah,
Look, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, the support that we've received for Denise over the last couple of weeks has just been amazing. I've never seen a group of people huddle around, no pun intended, huddle around a human being who needs our help more than anything right now. And you guys stepped up, and I love you for it. And we're still going. Make sure you get in the raffle. Make sure you buy the T-shirts. But I just want to
Share
say
the
I
link.
really appreciate it. And I know she does.
yeah. So scan this right here. I will try and make another one for next week. When are you ending the shirts?
I probably got another week or so.
Okay, so maybe we'll just do it, after next week's episode, get it on there. So if there's any last minute stragglers, but definitely, get the raffle. And again, thanks Beaumont and NAFCT for putting this together.
And we'll be doing the drawing live on the
On-
Huddle on the 18th.
On the 18th with a special guest, Mr. Sonny Callahan himself.
I'll be back.
All right, thanks guys. We appreciate everything that you
Thank
guys
you,
do.
everyone.
Make sure you give us a like, subscribe, and tell all your friends about us.
Hey, go learn
That's
some
it.
stuff, guys.
Spread the word. Thanks. Good seeing you, Jose.
Take it easy, brother.